Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Oz and we're going to be talking about the finale for What If. So the series is over. I thought it ended next week, but it ended this week. So we're going to talk about the series as a whole as well as this particular episode. If you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stick around for those. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We're going to go ahead and get started with my recap of the series. So, in this particular episode, we're uniting all of a character from one of every single episode in order to create the Guardians of the Multiverse. So, we open with the Winter Soldier open, but it's with Peggy Carter instead of Steve Rogers, and then she gets taken first, then Star-Lord, we see him, T'Challa Star-Lord taking Peter Quill, saving Peter Quill, and then he gets taken, T'Challa Star-Lord, not Peter Quill. Gamora, we find out, defeated Thanos in her timeline. She's also with Tony Stark, so we don't know too much about this timeline. I'm a little bummed because I wanted to see more of Gamora and we kind of don't know what's going on. Also important to note, Zoe Saldana is not voicing Gamora, which I don't know why that's the case, since she's obviously signed on to do some more stuff with Marvel, but I guess maybe time constraints or something like that didn't work out for Zoe Saldana for this one. But we do see Gamora, and she's in Thanos' armor, but we find out that she is good. She defeated Thanos in her timeline, and she's with Tony Stark, which I did say, but it's important to note because in the comics, Tony Stark and Gamora do have a relationship, so it's possible in this timeline that they are in a relationship. But we do see them melting the Infinity Gauntlet. She had destroyed the Infinity Stones with a little crusher that she had made in her timeline. So they're destroying the gauntlet with Eitri, and it looks like they have successfully defeated, she successfully defeated Thanos. Interestingly enough, Killmonger gets chosen from the the timeline where he saves Tony Stark, so I thought that was pretty interesting choice there, which does come into play a little bit later. Party Thor gets chosen after it's clear in the Age of Ultron sort of timeline after the party event, and he just wanted to go on a date with Jane, but he is fighting off the Ultron bots. So all together with Doctor Strange, the one from where he goes all crazy and absorbs all of the creatures of the multiverse, they lead the Guardians of the Multiverse. So they're going to stop Ultron because Ultron has become this all-knowing being who is going to destroy the multiverse as we know it. So this is a proper Age of Ultron. I mean, it's more than the Age of Ultron run in the comics, but it's an actual age, whereas my biggest criticism with one of my biggest criticisms with Age of Ultron is that it's not really an Age of Ultron. It's nothing like the comics. I mean, that comic run is pretty significant and as detrimental as like the Infinity Saga. So I understand they adapt things for movies, but it was really not like the run of the comics whatsoever. So they ensue in a big fight to try to take down Ultron. Natasha shoots an arrow that is with the virus of Zola into Ultron, which defeats Ultron. It separates the stones from him, and then Killmonger takes the stones for himself in order to try to fix each universe. So then Doctor Strange ends up watching over this pocket dimension that the Watcher creates over this fight over the stones between Zola and Killmonger. Killmonger, definitely still not a good character, whether you agree with his kind of ideas about things or not. He's just not the best dude. So Captain Carter wants to return to the old timeline the way that Steve did in Endgame, but the Watcher says no, she needs to return to the present timeline, which comes back a little bit later. Natasha gets put into a world that has no Black Widow, so she doesn't have to go back to the world where she's all by herself. She goes back to the world that has no Black Widow. So at least she gets a somewhat happy ending where she's fighting Loki. It looks like they're on a helicarrier. during the fight instead of the normal Battle of New York. Star-Lord takes Quill under his wing and they're shooting the little guns together, which is so cute because I love Peter Quill. And then we see a post-credit scene where instead of the hard drive with Zola that they find, or the hard drive with all the stuff in Winter Soldier that they find the Hydra Stomper from the Captain Carter episode, and apparently Steve is inside. They don't say Steve is inside, but they say somebody's inside, and it's most likely Steve. So let me get my charger. So that was the finale for the first season of What If. We're getting another series. I thought it would be more episodes. I kind of don't mind that it ended up already. This was not my favorite of the series. I think I liked it kind of... It was okay to me. I didn't think it was like fantastic. I definitely thought it would be a little bit better than it was. I don't think the voice acting was very good. I know they hyped up a lot of the original casts returning, but then they didn't. Like, Zoe Saldana was not Gamora, which really threw me off, and Gamora's my favorite. I also thought she would play a lot more into this than she did. I still love her and I still adore seeing her from time to time, but this was just like not at all up to what I expected. So it was a little disappointing in that aspect. I'm definitely looking forward to Hawkeye more than this, which is kind of shocking to me that those words are coming out of my mouth. I think the strongest episode of this season was the T'Challa Star-Lord episode, and that was like episode 3. So the rest of them really dragged on. I didn't feel the need to wake up on Wednesday morning every morning and being like excited to watch it. I was honestly a few episodes behind before this morning, so ultimately I thought, I like the animation style. I think it looked great. I think Jeffrey Wright did an amazing job as the Watcher, but the plot of the show itself just didn't really appeal to me that much, so hopefully we're gonna get some more exciting episodes next season. I kind of hoped they would do what they promised initially. They just didn't do it. So initially we were talked up to get an episode per movie, which we didn't get. They were kind of doing their own thing, which there's nothing wrong with telling original stories, but I kind of wished if we were doing What If that it was going to be related to that. I thought the zombie episode was pretty good too. It was relatively interesting, but those two I think we could take away, and the rest of them I could live without. Which is kind of a bummer, so if I'm going to say 2 out of the 9 I really enjoyed. That's not a really good track record. For next season, I guess we're going to go more into Captain Carter, which to me, she's the least exciting of the Guardians of the Multiverse, which I hate to say. Because I know, like, she's getting a lot of flack on the internet, and I think she's not as bad as she is, but she's also not as exciting as people would say. People, as Marvel would hope that she would be. They want her to be like this leader of this multiverse team, which I just don't think that she can live up to those standards. I'd like to see more animated stuff from Marvel. I think that'd be really cool. But right now I'm just looking forward to Hawkeye, and then Eternals, obviously, and Spider-Man, and other live-action properties that we have. So I'll see, hopefully next season will be better. I know first seasons for a lot of these Disney animated shows can be kind of hit or miss, mostly misses. So hopefully a second season will be even better. Let me know what you thought about What If down below, what you would like to see in a season 2. I'd like to see more Guardian stuff personally, so let me know down below. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday with a new video. Bye!